Have you been working your business for a while without hitting that breakthrough? I can relate, and I know our guest today can. Today, we're talking with Elisha Medlin of 5 Elements of Wholeness, who had been working her business for 6 years without breaking through the six-figure mark, and we're going to hear how she turned that all around in 5 months. Let's go. Meet Elisha Medlin.
Hey, Elisha Medlin here. I am the founder and owner of 5 Elements of Wholeness. I'm a faith-based mentor, a public speaker, and an author. I am an expert in awakening wholeness from the inside out. I work with coaches, leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurs who are looking to level up and are finding that despite their business knowledge, skills, and training, they can't seem to be experiencing the results consistently that they desire. So I train them on how to see, find, and bridge the gaps that are keeping them from experiencing sustainable results and relentless growth within their business and personal life. This way, they can confidently rise up, leading from their heart as they become who God intended them to be as divine leaders of rare faith.
Elisha, welcome. We're so excited to have you here with us today. Thanks for being on.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, so Elisha, you have had massive growth in the last 5 months with your business, 5 Elements of Wholeness, and really are such a great goal setting success story. So I'm going to let you share what last year looked like versus what this year looked like, and then I'm going to ask you some specific questions about how you made the breakthrough.
Well, last year I was in year 6. This year I'm in year 7. And I have hired lots of different coaches, did lots of different techniques to help bring in income. And I did. I made the most of $12,000 last year, which was exciting for me because that was more than I did the year before. But I wanted more, and I wanted more growth. And so this year I decided to hire Amy. And with the help of what she taught me, I was able to take my income and quadruple it. So far this year, I have made $47,000.
What? That's even higher than the last time. I feel like I want to do like a. That's so cool. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so that is even more. That means you closed another deal since I talked to you.
I did. Yep.
Awesome. So let's talk about this transformation, because I think when people hear stories like this, they see the end and not the process. And you did the work and you went through the process. So let's break it down. What would you say was the biggest change that happened for you to be able to quadruple your income? And by the way, you guys, 12,000 last year, 42,000 in 5 months.
Well, 47 now. It's at 47. So
47,000 in like 5 months.
5 months, right.
On track for 6-figure year, which is awesome.
Yeah, and that's what my goal has been forever, for as long as I can remember being, because I've been in this business for so long. But I am really excited. And I would say probably the biggest transformation for me was getting out of my own way. And I know people say that all the time, but what getting in my way for me was, am I saying the right things? Am I doing enough? Am I doing it just right? And that perfection mentality of, I have to have all of my ducks in a row, and I have to say exactly the right thing at the right time for the right person. And then hopefully maybe they'll say yes. And I think what changed that was realizing that I get to just really let that go and be authentic in all aspects. And really, I'm a very spiritual person. And so I always would be like, okay, I am choosing to get out of the conversation when I would have a discovery call. And I would just be like, I choose to just totally team up with Heavenly Father, and I'm giving this call to you. And when I did that, I was able to just stay out of my head and come from my heart, which I think is what was the biggest difference. Is I was really doing what I was preaching, is leading from the heart and teaching and inspiring those that wanted to work with me that they really can do the same thing.
I love that. So, were you using a sales script or a sales format that supported you in not having to remember all the details to stay in your heart?
I did. I actually have had a lot of different sales scripts, but I used yours because it was so close to the way that I talk anyway. And so when I used yours, I didn't have to like try to change the wording to make it feel like it was me.
Mhm.
And so when I took yours and plugged it in, it was so natural in how I talk that it didn't really require me to remember a lot. It was just, I get to show up and introduce myself, tell them how the process was going to go, and then ask them how beneficial this call can be for them and how I can serve them. And then walk through all of the, what is their goals and what are they really looking for and all those different aspects of what's in your sales script. And that really helped me to keep the call clean. And I wasn't using all the filler words of, what do you want to do next? And, so that really helped to keep it a clean conversation.
I love it. Okay, so one thing that I remember distinctly about you when we first started was you were doing a lot of stuff, right? Like you were busy because you were bringing people onto your platform, you were sending out emails, you were doing a lot of stuff, but the stuff wasn't leading towards clients. It was almost like you were like a promoter for other people, not a promoter for yourself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. And I think the reason why is because I didn't know that it was even kosher to like promote me. And it's not that I didn't think I needed to be promoted. I just was like, well, I want these people that are coming onto my mastermind to be shining. And so I left me out. And Amy's like, look, you're promoting them, you promote you too. And I was like, I can do that. That's okay. And so as soon as I started doing that, that really started shifting, not so much my sales as much as my confidence, realizing that I could promote me and it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, we have to create win-wins, right? In fact, I like
Mhm.
the three wins. So it's a win for you, it's a win for the person you're partnering with, and it's a win for the people participating. So everybody
Mhm.
creates that win. And I think sometimes we do that where we spend a lot of effort putting something together and then we forget that we need to promote ourselves and we just promote everybody else. So you're not the first person to do that.
Yeah, and so that's really been fun. And then another thing that I really think helped is my copy. One of the things that you told me when I would send you my copy is you're like, this, you're telling them a story. You're not dating them. You want to marry them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I remember distinctly going, I have no clue what you just said to me. And so when you broke that down to me, I was like, oh, okay, because I love to share my story and I love to get really deep in detail on that. And then when you're like, no, just bare minimum, bare minimum, bare minimum. And I'm still giving my heart, but I'm not giving them everything. And that really made a difference with my email list of the opening rates. Because my opening rates were like 3 to 4%. And now I get a regular 30 to 32% on a regular basis.
I love this. Like you're telling me
So
numbers and the numbers are making my heart happy.
yeah, so that makes me happy too. And my list is growing and I'm still getting the same amount of opening ratio. So that's really cool. So that tells me that I'm doing something right on that.
Yeah, well, another thing that I remember talking about with your copy, we did definitely talk about making it succinct and not sharing everything off the get go. But the other thing was speaking to people for where they want to be instead of where the problems are. Because
Right.
when you're focusing on like all the deep dark problems of the soul, you tend to attract in a lot of people who are kind of in crisis, especially when you're
Mhm.
in more of a heart centered business. But when you talk to people about where they want to be in that aspirational place, you attract in the people who are more ready to go there instead of the ones who need to be rescued.
Yeah, that really made a difference too, especially in the naming of my programs. I did my first program, well, not my first one, but I did create a program when I was working with you that was called Chaos to Order. And I did not get one person. I talked to over, I think it was 130 people or somewhere in that link. And I didn't get one person signed up for it. And I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? And I went through the scripting with you and everything. So I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. And one of the things that you talked about was, well, maybe it's the title. And I'm like, okay, so how is that off? Because I'm going, well, you're going from chaos to order. And so you asked me to go and talk to the people that said no to get their feedback. And all of them are like, well, I don't relate to that. I don't resonate with chaos. I don't have chaos in my life. And I'm like, okay, so what does chaos mean to you? And they're like, oh, the burnings of the buildings, all the stuff that's going on in the country right now, that's chaos. I don't have that in my life. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I say, well, what are you struggling with? They're like, well, my mindset's off and did it. And I'm like, wait, that is chaos. Like, it is chaos inside, but they're not correlating it. So I realized that my languaging needed to be fixed. I got to go in and change my languaging to use the same languaging that the people are using, instead of taking their languaging and then turning it into my languaging, and then they can't relate.
Well, you have to meet the clients where they're at and then take them where where you want them to go. And too often, a lot of people when they're marketing, they go in and they lead with what I want to say. Here's the story that I want you to know. I want to tell you about this. And it's very focused on us and what we see needs to happen, instead of saying, no, we're going to flip it. We're going to make the client the hero of their own story, and we just get to stand back and be Yoda to their Luke Skywalker and guide them on the journey. So you've done a really good job transitioning that.
Yeah, and that really made a difference. I mean, I changed that same program to Peace on Purpose, and I now have 3 months that I've had it full. So, and that was amazing to me. So I'm like, it's the same context, like the same content, but yet just a different title name. Okay, whatever, that works.
So one other thing I want to point out that I feel like has been a big contributor has been your consistency in getting leads coming through your business. That was before, it was kind of hit or miss. So that wasn't necessarily an easy transformation. Do you want to share any insights on how you did that?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because when I came in, I had over 3,000 leads, but my opening rate was like 2 to 4%. So I basically had a dead email list. And so I did what you recommended. I went in and cleaned up my email list and left me with 300. I was like, that hurts. That's a lot of people that I got to get rid of. But it was really good because then it opened it up the door for the people that really are interested in what I'm doing. And so my lead generation was non-existent because I didn't really know how to do it, other than I just kept showing up on Facebook and Instagram, but I didn't know how to capture leads. And that was one of the things that you shared with me and taught me was open up a Facebook group and then get their email, get their name, and I was like, oh, okay. So I did that. And then when I did my assessment process, it was the same thing. Get their name, get their address, get their phone number. And I was like, oh, so I did that. And so then all of a sudden my leads started to grow. And now I'm over 1,200 in the 5 months. Plus I've been doing conferences and summits and all of those types of things too. So that's been bringing in more leads. And it's just learning how to capture them with the things that I'm already doing.
Yeah. Oh, that is huge. You've had so much growth in the last 5 months. Now, there was a point when you were working and it wasn't working, right? And I think a lot of people hit that where you go, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to show up. I'm going to make the changes. And then you start working, but the results aren't as fast as your effort. How did you hang in there through that time? And what advice would you have for somebody else who's in that space?
Well, for me, it was really, really hard because I have been working at this business and it's not just been a hobby for me. I've really been working at it for a long time and I've put a lot of money into it. And so I'm not much on my return. And I felt really frustrated and really upset about it because I'm like, what am I missing? What am I not getting? And the number one thing that I came to understand is that I wasn't doing my business for me. I was doing my business to prove that I was good enough for everybody around me who told me that I couldn't do it. And so as soon as I got them out of my authority seat and just was like, you know what, I'm not doing this for anybody but for myself because I want to succeed and because I love what I do, that created a huge shift within me to be able to have the frequency or the energy or vibration or whatever you want to call it to attract the people into my world, because it wasn't a proving energy. It was an authentic energy.
That's good. That I'm sure rings true to some people who are listening. Awesome. Well, Elisha, I'm so proud of you. I honestly cannot wait to be celebrating when you break 6 figures this year.
I'm so excited.
And the thing that I want all of our listeners to get out of this is that you can have been in business for many years, working hard for many years. It could have been not working for many years. And it doesn't mean that your business isn't going to work. It doesn't mean that you don't have what it takes. It does all of that stuff. Set that aside. It just means you've got to dial in the processes that work. And you know what? You try things that don't, and it teaches you what will. And that's just the way that business goes. So I hope that you guys who are listening to Elisha here are getting some of those good feels, oh, maybe I could do this. If you're relating and if you're, wanting to have that type of massive transformation and build the 6-figure business, finally build the 6-figure business, then I would invite you to reach out, because Elisha is such a great example of somebody who already had the heart, already had the talent, and just lacked the processes and systems. And that is a place where we can create magic every single time. If you're willing to do the work, you've already got the right heart, you've already got the right process, you're willing to do the mindset work, I know how to build the processes. We'll get there.
Right.
So, congratulations.
Well, and I just want to share one thing, if that's okay. One of the things that I really loved about working with you is that because I've spent so many years going to so many different coaches, a lot of what you said wasn't new to me. I knew a lot of what you said, and I had been incorporating it. But what I didn't know is the structure. I didn't understand the order. I didn't understand how to go from A to B to C to D. I was just throwing in whatever I learned, and it wasn't working. I get some success, but it wasn't consistent and sustainable. And that's what I love about what you do, is it teaches you that sustainability and that structure that works every single time. It's like a rinse and repeat process.
Yeah, well, it's like pieces of a puzzle that have never been put together, and you're like, why don't I have a picture? Because this one's not connected with this one, right?
Right, exactly.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Elisha. Super proud of you. And for all of you who are watching, if you haven't done it yet, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. And if you would like to find out where your puzzle pieces are not connected, go ahead and click the link for our Sales and Marketing GPS, and we'll show you. It takes about 10 minutes. You can answer some questions, and we'll give you back a report that shows you what's not lining up and what you should do about it. If you want to work on your copy, Elisha mentioned what a big deal that is. I recommend that you go check out our video, Sales Copywriting for Complete Beginners. It's going to really help you break down what you're doing wrong and what you can do better to get those open rates up and conversions up. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Now go be amazing.